Hey readers, we're back with the second video about me cleaning my closet, not something I ever thought I would share. If you missed the first video, it's just the last post prior to this, so you should just be able to scroll down and find it. I recommend it because I made it and it took time and it took a couple takes to get exactly right. But if you don't have 18 minutes to listen to me blather on, then the short version is I cleaned out my closet, shared a lot about it on Instagram stories. Those don't last. A lot of you seem to really enjoy following along with the process, and I got so much out of the process, and I really wanted to share about it on the blog. A post was turning out to be way too wordy, and I think videos are more fun for things like that, so we're here. When I left off, I walked you through sort of what my process was, my end goal, and I ended up, when we ended that video, I shared the easiest thing to do as I was going through my clothes, which was to get rid of anything that was way too worn out after I tried it on, saw how it looked, and then to get rid of anything that either didn't fit my body well or didn't suit my lifestyle right now. So those were really easy cuts to make, and that all happened at trying things on was probably the most time-consuming part. The getting rid of those kinds of things was very quick. But after that, I knew that there were still more cuts I needed to make in a couple of areas, and it was a lot harder to pare down after I had made those easy cuts. So I'm going to share how I did that. And I mentioned in the first video how I started this whole process thinking about the end, beginning with the end in mind, and knowing that I wanted all of my clothes to fit in my closet upstairs. It's a walk-in closet, so it's a good size. It's not huge. You're not going to find it on Pinterest, or it doesn't look like the Container Store. I would love for the girls at the home edit to come in and just like make it gorgeous, but it's not that pretty, but it's big enough that it should be able to hold all my clothes. So that was part of how I started paring down once I got rid of all the things that were easy to say goodbye to. But the other thing that I thought about, and one of the places where I was, I think, better able to do this was with dresses, which I ended up having to break into fall and winter dresses and spring and summer dresses. And also with sweatshirts, which I didn't mention in my first video, but that was another category of someone who loves a sweatshirt. And with the blue and white striped shirts, which were what I did first. I absolutely knew I had too many of those, but a regular closet clean out of just sort of like rifling through everything and like kind of pulling it out, not really trying it on, just sort of like grabbing it and like, oh, do I wear this? Well, I haven't in a while, but I would. This method of pulling everything out, putting it on the bed, trying everything on really helped me, I think, pare down even more. So once I had made the easy cuts, some categories still felt like just too much. So for sweatshirts, I think I had maybe 6 gray sweatshirts. Some of them had hoods, some of them didn't have hoods, some of them were like comfy cozy wear, and some of them were like cute sweatshirts that you might wear out. But nobody needs 6 gray sweatshirts. I mean, unless you live in like black yoga pants every day and you change out your gray sweatshirt, but that's like your outfit every day, then maybe you need 6. Or like if you actually work at a yoga studio, maybe you need 6. I don't need 6. So what I started to think about, it was a little different for each category, but I started thinking about my wardrobe as a whole, and this is where that Marie Kondo advice to take everything out, to hold it. She says to hold it. We talked about how she's a little woo-woo for me at times, but I think for me, the trying on process was the holding each item. I tried it on, I saw how it looked, and it started to give me an idea of my wardrobe as a whole and what I had and what I had too much of and where places were that I might not have enough or where having more items might actually be helpful. So for sweatshirts, 6 gray sweatshirts, they all fit, they all were fine. One has, so in the last video I talked about my gray Nantucket t-shirt that I'll just never get rid of. I have a gray sweatshirt from the University of Maryland when I was in high school and you decided where you were going to go to college, you usually got a hoodie from that school and then you wore it and like displayed your future proudly on your chest. So I did that. And when I decided that I was going to Maryland, they had just won the national title, and I went for my visit for like accepted students or something, and I bought a basketball hoodie at the bookstore. And that, to me, I've worn it zillions of times. I've had it since 2002. It's 2017. It's a 15-year-old hoodie. There's like a questionable like stain somewhere like on the bottom, but I'm not getting rid of it. It means everything to me. So that one had to stay, which means other ones had to go. So I thought about a couple things. Like, I mean, honestly, things as silly as like, do I need 3 gray hooded sweatshirts? No. The Maryland one unquestionably had to stay. That brings me down to 2 gray hooded sweatshirts. Which one is going to go? And it was easier for me to do that this time because I was looking at this giant pile of sweatshirts on my bed. Like, nobody needs this many sweatshirts. And nobody needs this many gray sweatshirts. So I have 3 with hoods, at least 1 with a hood needs to go. And then I had 3 without hoods, at least 1 of those needed to go. I had 3 Shep shirts from Vineyard Vines, which is just like a particular style of sweatshirt. One was my very first one ever. I had one, I mean, before like every 12-year-old in your neighborhood was wearing a Shep shirt. I had this one, and like, so it's like a fun color. It's a different like design sort of than they make now. So I was all proud of it, but it was faded. It had shrunk incredibly. I mean, like, I wore it, but it wasn't great. It had to go. That brought me down to 2 other Shep shirts. And one is this like teal, it's white with like teal stripes. I wear it all the time. I love it. And the other one is a color that I ordered because it was on sale, because I love those sweatshirts and I found it on sale. I don't wear it a lot. The color, it's like a darker teal, and it's a color that's in my wardrobe. I thought I would wear it all the time, and I just don't. And it's one of those items, I talked a little bit about this in the last video, where would I wear it again? I absolutely would wear it again. Having, you know, just gone through my sweatshirts, if I had decided to keep it, I might have gone the next day and said like, oh yeah, like I wanted to wear that sweatshirt more, I'll wear that sweatshirt. But I never felt totally comfortable in it. I never loved it. So that question, that Marie Kondo, does it bring you joy? No, it's just an item of clothing I wear, and I have another sweatshirt that's almost identical that I love. So it needed to go. And when I was little, my mom taught me about pitch it moods, which is when you get in a mood that just like, I'm someone who tends toward clutter, but I'll go through phases where I just wake up and I'm ready to purge and get rid of things. And the closet clean out, all I can say is the best time to start is if you know what that mood feels like, if you wake up and feel that mood, that's the best time to start, because that's the time that you can part with those items that you know are just superfluous in your wardrobe. And it's nice to have 3 Shep shirts, but it's a little ridiculous, and you love 1, and 2 are just sort of placeholders. If you need something to wear, sure, you can throw them on, and they needed to go. So that sounds really, really silly. It sounds so trivial to be talking so in depth about a sweatshirt. But honestly, I mean, that's why I wanted to do this video, is to really like take you through the process. If you're the kind of person that has a hard time parting with stuff, that holds on to things, I mean, this is literally the process I was going through in my head. And I can't tell you how helpful it was to look at everything on the bed and realize these are all the sweatshirts you have. Do you really want to be a person who owns this many sweatshirts? So that's an example from sweatshirts of how I made decisions when things were a little bit harder. The other thing, the one category that was similar was shorts. I own a lot of shorts, like printed, sort of khaki-ish material shorts. A couple pairs from Lily. I got a pair from The Gap last year. Got 2 pairs from Old Navy. I mean, I love shorts. And that was an area that was hard to pare down because I need a lot of shorts. I wear shorts like that almost every day. In the summer, it gets really hot, it gets really humid. I'm someone who gets hot easily, so I like to be in cool gear. And so shorts make sense for that. So that was an area where when I put everything on the bed, I knew I had too many, but I wasn't trying to pare down just to like 5 pairs of shorts. Having more than that sat okay with me. I felt fine about that. I went through my shorts, tried everything on, things that were too tight, whatever, goodbye. It left me with still a couple more pairs than I needed, so I had a couple pairs of shorts where I had similar colors, and I just decided to keep one of the 2 colors that I had for the shorts. Not really either, that's neither here nor there. But what it did affect is when I went through my t-shirts, again, that Marie Kondo holding it or having tried it on, gone through shorts, I now knew exactly what I decided to keep. And I did t-shirts the next day. And it was so helpful because in going through my t-shirts, I realized that like patterned t-shirts and printed t-shirts, I have all these patterned shorts and I love them. I think I have like one navy blue pair of shorts and I maybe have a light blue pair of shorts, and that's it for solid colors. Anything else that's a solid color is like athletic shorts. So when it came to t-shirts, a printed t-shirt isn't going to go with all those printed shorts that I just kept. And I didn't love any of my printed t-shirts that it made sense to keep them over the printed shorts. So again, it sounds so trivial and it sounds like such a silly thing to be sitting in my kitchen talking to you about and posting on a blog. But thinking that way, thinking kind of holistically about your wardrobe and, well, I really love all these printed shorts, so my t-shirt collection needs to consist mainly of basics and plain colored things. That was really helpful to me as well. And then the category that was the hardest, and I knew it was going to be the hardest, was dresses and skirts. And at first I was treating them separately. I took out all my skirts and put them on my bed one day, and I got totally overwhelmed. Put them all away. Was like, nope, we'll do this another day. And I think there's some validity to that. When I talked about being in a pitch it mood, I just looked at them and I was like, I love these skirts. I'm not going to be able to part with anything today. So it wasn't the day to do it. And that happens, and that's okay as long as you then, when you hit that day, when you are ready to jump on it and make yourself go through it. So dresses and skirts. I love dresses and skirts, especially in the summer. I live in summer dresses. I have a lot. And I have a decent number of fall and winter dresses as well. And this was an area where I think the most helpful thing, after I got rid of the ones that were really easy because they didn't fit or they were worn out or what have you, I think the most helpful thing to consider there was my lifestyle change. So I used to work at an elementary school. I was a teacher. So skirts and dresses, appropriate wear to work. I also used to be younger, and I used to go to, a couple weddings every summer, a couple more every fall. But when you go to a wedding, you have the wedding, you have the bridal shower, there's maybe a bachelorette party. Okay, you get out of that phase of your life and there's a baby shower every other day. So I used to have all these occasions to wear dresses that aren't in my life anymore. I go to church almost every Sunday, so I do still wear dresses and skirts there. So I need dresses and skirts. The lack of weddings really helped me to pare down my more formal dresses. And then the lack of showers, like bridal showers and baby showers, helped me get rid of some others. So dresses and skirts were an area I decided once I had the moment with my skirts where I was like, nope, not doing this today. I realized that I actually wanted to pair them with dresses because they serve the same function in my life. So I realized that I needed a rotation of skirts and dresses for church so that I felt like I wasn't wearing, this dress on this Sunday and this dress the next Sunday, and then just every other Sunday wearing the same dress. And you could totally do that. If you don't like dresses that much, that's what you should do. So I knew I wanted like a rotation for fall and winter stuff and then spring and summer. I knew I needed something like maybe two options, a little more formal. I have 3 weddings coming up this fall, so a couple options that I could wear to a wedding. And bridal shower, baby shower, that's a church dress is fine for that. And then the other thing that comes up from time to time is a funeral. And so I wanted to make sure that I had something I could wear in case of a funeral. So thinking that process through, that's maybe 6 or 7 dresses for church, 2 or 3 more formal dresses for weddings or cocktail parties or whatever, and then something in case of a funeral. That's 10 dresses. So that helped me cut down, cut down, cut down. And then honestly, your decisions can come from anything. My fall and winter dresses, it had a lot to do with color. I love navy, rarely wear black, although wearing it now. A lot of my fall and winter dresses were black. And so I think I had 5 black dresses that were all similar enough in like their level of formality. And so which are my 2 least favorites? Okay, get rid of them. If you don't love them, if they're not exciting options, and you have 5 black dresses, say goodbye to 2 of them. When it came to spring dresses, I had this one dress. It was blue and white striped. Are we seeing a pattern here? And I think it's totally great to have like a go-to uniform, and mine may not be one single type of clothing, but if I have a pattern, it's blue and white stripes, or maybe some like crazy splashy lily print. But I had this spring dress, summer dress. It was white with blue stripes. It's from J. Crew. It's A-line, zips up the back. It's classic. I've worn it several times. It fit well. It was a good length. It hit above the knees, but it wasn't so short that it couldn't be functional in my life right now. But as I started pairing through my dresses, I realized, so I'd easily wear it to church. I would easily wear it to maybe not bridal events, because it does have like a solid white background, and it's about the bride. It's not about me wearing white. It's about someone else wearing white. I'd wear it to a baby shower if it was a nice enough thing that I wanted to wear a dress to. But I started looking at all my other summer and spring dresses and realized I had 6 or 7 great options that were so much more fun. It just came down to the fact that a blue and white striped dress, for somebody who owns zillions of blue and white striped things, it's classic, it's safe, it's fine, but I had a lot of dresses that were better than fine, and so it had to go. So again, I'm just going to say one more time, I share this with you because as somebody who has a hard time decluttering and getting down to really not the minimum of what I need. I still have way more than the minimum of clothes that anybody needs. But as somebody who has a hard time saying goodbye to things, especially like it's a nice dress. But if you have too many dresses and you're looking for ways to get rid of them, there's so many different angles that you can approach this from to start to think about getting rid of things. So the sweatshirts, the dresses, the shorts, just some examples, the t-shirts of how you make your decisions. And I've told you I kept 2 totally dingy gray things with logos on them because they mean a lot to me. So I would never, and another one, I put this on my Instagram stories, is my rehearsal dinner dress. I had a rehearsal dinner dress that I had found with my mom at an Ann Taylor outlet of all places. That we had just been out shopping. I wasn't really looking for one, but I found it. It fit well. Oh, I still remember it. It tied at the neck, tied up here with like a bow, so it was like kind of halter-esque. It was gorgeous. And then like 2 days before I left to go home for our wedding and our rehearsal dinner, I found this C.K. Bradley dress. It's white and navy and green, and those were our wedding colors. It fit beautifully. I loved that dress. I am not the size I was when I got married, like, oh gosh, 7.5 years ago now. Not that size. I doubt I'll be that size again. And you just heard me say in my last video, then don't hold on to clothes. Well, except if those clothes are your rehearsal dinner dress. And I found it. It was perfect. I love it so much. And it comes with all these memories of my wedding and my rehearsal dinner and all the people I love the most being together. So I still have some sentimental items, some of which will not even get worn again in my lifetime, perhaps. And I'm totally okay with that. I started with the goal of having all of my clothes fit in my closet. All of my clothes fit in my closet, including that gross Maryland hoodie, including my gorgeous rehearsal dinner dress. So I'm okay with keeping them. Other things needed to go out the door. So thank you so much for bearing with me, for enjoying my Instagram stories, and for letting me know. It was just so fun interacting with everyone, and got some more things I want to clean and declutter. I don't know if people will be as excited about that. I need to finish reorganizing our pantry. Just said goodbye to a lot of DVDs, because really, who still puts a DVD in a DVD player? I need to do books next. That's going to be hard. And we have our pantry coming up. But the closet was so fun. It was so fun. It was so fun to do along with you. And like I said in my first video, I am riding such a high. I feel so good that all my clothes fit. They're all where I can see them. And when you read those articles about decluttering and about organizing, the things those people say are kind of true. It's so much easier to keep my room clean, to keep the closet looking organized, because there's not as much stuff there. So my to-do list is easier because all that like maintenance of like putting laundry away and everything, it's so much easier because there's space. So you just kind of like dump it in and it's done. Like nothing is running over with clothes. So I can already see that huge improvement. The areas where I've really been working to declutter, those aren't areas in my house that stress me out anymore, and that's amazing. So thank you all so much, dear readers, for listening to me blather on about my closet, for cheering me on as I cleaned it. Hope you enjoyed the videos. If you did, let me know, and I can always blather about something else. Take care, guys.